Hello and welcome to How Do I Build a Power BI Dashboard in Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2015. My name is Steven Renders. I am a Microsoft Certified Trainer for Microsoft Dynamics NAV, and I have created this video for you in collaboration with Microsoft and Platan, a Microsoft Dynamics Solutions training center in Belgium. At the end of this video, you will understand how to build a Power BI dashboard in Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2015. The objective of this video is to show how to build a Power BI dashboard in Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2015. This is actually part 2 of the video, which will continue after part 1, where we prepared the data model in Microsoft Power Pivot. We will do this in 3 steps. In step 1, we will create a dashboard in the Power View with charts for the sales amount by country, the quantity by product, and sales by date. In step 2, we will then create a Power BI site in Office 365. And in step 3, we will optimize the sales dashboard to implement Q&A. Let's get started with the first step and see how we can create a dashboard in the Power View with the charts for sales amount by country, quantity by product, and sales by date. So here we are in Power Pivot, where we have prepared our data model, and I am going to close Power Pivot. And the next thing that I'm going to do in Excel is I'm actually going to the Insert menu, and I'm going to insert a Power View sheet. The Power Sheet is right here. I'm just going to provide a title, sales dashboard, and as we can see here on the right side, we have our Power View fields. We have the results of the data model that we created in Power Pivot, and we can see our customers, dates, products, sales invoice lines, and salespeople. So we are here in actually our Power View dashboard, and we would like to create a chart by making use of the sales by country. And in order not to show the country code but the country name, I have added or made a modification in the dataset. I've added actually a list of countries. How did I do that? Well, basically I went here into the web sources page of NAV. I added the countries or regions page, and I also published it as an OData web service. Then I went into Power Pivot. So basically I went here into Power Pivot, and I updated the data model, and I actually added the countries as a data web service. And if you have a look here in the data diagram, what I've also done is I have linked the countries with the customers. So I created actually here a table relationship. After we close Power Pivot, the data model is automatically updated, and I can start by creating a chart. How can we do that? Well, I'm going to fetch the information that I would like to have visualized. So I'm going to select here the name of the country. And then, as we can see here, a dataset is going to be built. Next, I'm going to my sales invoice line, and I am going to select, for example, the amount, which will then be reflected here in my data model. Now I don't want to see this textual data, so what am I going to do? I am going to select here to create a column chart. We have the choice between different types of charts. I'm just going to select here a column, make it a little bit wider. So as we can see, we have already our data available. What we can also see is that it's sorting by name of the country, and I would like to have it sorted by amount, and I would like this to be descending. So this is basically how I am going to create this chart, and we can see here the sales by country. Let's continue in the Power View dashboard and add a chart where we can see product or product group by quantity. So in Power Pivot, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go here to the product dataset. I'm going to select the product group code. And then I am going to the sales invoice line dataset, and I'm going to look for my quantity. I'm just going to have to go up a little bit. Voilà, here is my quantity. I'm seeing here two product groups, but what we can also do, for example, is here select one of the fields and then say, okay, I would like to also see the items without any data. Then I am going to here to select the data, and I'm going to create a bar chart. And this type is going to be a vertical bar chart. I'm also going to, voila, here sort and filter on the quantity, and I'm going to do it descending. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, and there we have our second chart. Now we can add the third one, which is going to be the sales on a date timeline. Now in the dashboard I'm going to my date table, and in the date table I have the choice between multiple types of dates. I'm going to select the full date, and for the full date what I would like to see is also the amount coming from the sales invoice line. Let me select this one, and then I am going to convert it into a line chart in which we will now be able to visualize what happened in a period of time regarding the sales amounts here on a line. Next, I'm going to add some filters to the report. I will go here to the sales people. I'm going to select the name of the salesperson. I'm just going to drag it here into the filters. So now we have our chart. And in the chart, I'm able to use here the filters. I'm going to filter here on John Roberts, and we can see here that all of the three are updated immediately. If I'm going to select Deborah here, we can see that there weren't much sales for Deborah in this period. Furthermore, what I can also do is I can select, for example, here my product group code. I can click on it, and I can see the other charts immediately updating. I can do the same thing. For example, I'm going to select here a country, and then I can see the data which is being updated in real time. So all of these charts are connected, and I can now start analyzing and slicing and dicing the information. In step 1, we had a look at how to create the sales dashboard in Power View. Let's see now how we can create a Power BI site in Office 365. First, I am going to save my workbook, and I'm going to save it, for example, here on my desktop. I'm going to call it my sales dashboard workbook. Yes, I would like to replace it, and I'm going to close it. Next, I'm going to open my browser, and I'm going to go to the Microsoft Power BI website. Basically, I'm going to log in to my Office 365 environment. I'm just going to do that right now. I'm logging in. Voila, and here in Office 365 I have Power BI. And what I've also done here in Office 365, I have created here a new site. It's actually called a team site. And in this team site, what we can do right now is we can basically upload the Excel file, which I've placed on my desktop. It's a sales dashboard. So I'm just going to open and upload the Excel file. So it is now uploaded. It's called the sales dashboard, and let's have a look at it. Our document has been uploaded, and we can see it here. I can select it, and it will open in Office 365 here in my team site. So by using and creating this team site, I have the capability of having a look, of course, at the results, using the information to analyze the data from my business. But what I can also do is I can share the information with my colleagues who can also invite to be a part of this site. Now what I'm going to do is just going to close the Excel file. So we are back at our site here. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to click here on the Power BI button, which is then going to load all of my SharePoint documents, the ones that I am frequently using. and I can have a look, for example, and I'm going to select my sales dashboard, and I'm going to make it enabled in Power BI for Office 365. So the report is now enabled, and I'm going to open it. Once it has been enabled in Power BI, I can make use of its full capabilities, just like I can do in Microsoft Office Excel. In step 2, we had a look at how to create a Power BI site in Office 365, where we uploaded and enabled our dashboard in Microsoft Power BI for Office 365. Now in step 3, we are going to optimize our dashboard. We are going to implement and add synonyms to tables and columns. So we are ready to then implement Q&A, and that will enable us to ask some questions and get back some answers from Power BI. So in Office 365, I'm going to go back to my site. So I'm back in my team site. From within my team site, I'm going to select Power BI. And then in a few seconds, it's going to load all of my documents from my SharePoint library. I can see my sales dashboard. I can click here on the 3 dots. I can favorite my dashboard. And what I can also do is, for example, I can add it to Q&A. Once it has been added to Q&A, what I can do next is I can ask a question. So I'm going to go to Q&A. And I'm going to ask a question. Now we can actually ask a question in our natural language. So for example, show customers, and then I'm going to say by city. And as soon as I'm typing, I can see my results. I can see my customers by city. I can see it here in a table layout. I can also create it here in a card layout, and even show the information on a map. Now let's change the question. Show the sales people. As you can see here, there is an inline autocomplete, which I can just select, and the information is also updated in real time. Here we have the salespeople, and then I can sort them according to commission percentage, and voila, I can see them here immediately displayed in a bar chart. Let's ask another question. For example, I am interested in the quantity, and I can immediately start typing in the word quantity. I can see, for example, show the sales invoice line and their quantity. I can see the quantity by sell to customer number. There are actually lots of variations and possibilities, and I have the capability now of just asking a question and immediately getting back the answer from my dataset. So we have seen in step 3 how we can optimize our dashboard by, for example, implementing a Q&A in Power BI, so we can ask questions. Something else that we could do is, for example, also add synonyms, and for this we have to actually use and go back to Power Pivot, where we can go into the advanced mode and we can add some synonyms. Let's have a look again at the 3 steps. In step 1, we created a dashboard in Power View, where we created charts to visualize the sales by country, the quantity by product, and the sales by date. Then in step 2, we created a Power BI site in Office 365, where I introduced the Power BI in Office 365, and we uploaded the sales dashboard in a Power BI site. Then in step 3, we optimized our sales dashboard by adding it into Power BI and by implementing or optimizing for Q&A, and we had the possibility to ask questions and get back answers in our own language. So this briefly explains how to create a Power BI dashboard in Office 365. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something. And I hope to see you again in one of the other titles of the How Do I series for Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2015.